What's up, residents? Jacob here. Today we are going to be bringing up Godzilla 2014's duo of enemy monsters of Godzilla, the Mutos, and the events that followed their inevitable deaths by the hands of Godzilla. That's a whole lot of corpse to pick up, so how did we remove the bodies of these gigantic creatures? Just for a quick recap, the male Muto, as you know, died by Godzilla slamming his tail into the winged monster, crushing it between the mass of the building and his own. The female Muto had the iconic Mortal Kombat style "Finish her!" death where Godzilla blew his atomic blast straight down its throat, burning her head off. Then we see Godzilla toss the creature's head into the harbor. So what happened to these gigantic bodies after Godzilla left? Just recently, with the big drop of Godzilla news that we got, there was a quick teaser clip showcase that was part of the second trailer released last week. But this clip included something that the official trailer did not. A tiny glimpse of what looks like the female Muto's head being studied in a Monarch facility. The head or skull clearly has the same shape as the female Muto, so this is pretty likely the monster's head. Although I will throw out the idea that it could be the monster coming from the new Godzilla comic Aftershock, as that unknown monster shares multiple similarities with the Mutos from the film. If this is the female Muto head, then what happened to her and the male's bodies? Well, I can tell you this, it was probably messy. A sad truth in our real world is that sometimes whales that die in the ocean, or are unfortunate enough to get stranded on the beach, sometimes end up needing to be removed. But it's not like scraping the roadkill off the road. Whales can easily weigh over 100,000 pounds with some certain species. Large as they are, they need to go, or else the rotting mass of flesh may cause disease and sickness in the area surrounding the body. Plus, just imagine the smell of something so large decomposing. Not very good. To get rid of the bodies, we use explosives to blow it up in smaller chunks, use heavy machinery and saws to take the corpse apart piece by piece, or if the tide allows, the whale will just be dragged out to sea. No matter what though, it's never an easy or enjoyable task. So just imagine something even bigger. The male Muto was a good bit smaller than his lady friend, but we have to remember that Godzilla glued the thing to the damn building. That building, structurally, was done for after that. So humans probably would have collapsed the entire building, Muto included. Once the area was safe, the same process that we do normally for cleaning up collapsed buildings would have been used, but eventually they would come across the body of the male Muto. This is when we would probably use teams of brave souls coming in with gigantic saws to slowly take chunks of the Muto's body off, until cranes and other machinery could lift the remains out. It's probably not something you'd want to be a part of. The male's body was probably in too badly damaged of condition to be of much use scientifically, so they probably just dropped the remains off somewhere in the ocean. From earlier on in this video, we already know that it appears like Monarch got their hands on the female Muto's head. But what happened to her body? It was much larger than the male, so it surely would have taken a much more drastic approach to clean up her mess. Well, there would have been one thing working in the favor of the cleanup, and that's how the female died while being in the water already. If the body didn't somehow manage to float out to sea on its own, we could have done two things. Forcefully drag the body out by using tugboats and powerful cables, or do something much quicker and exciting. Blow the thing up! Proper placement of explosives would blow the female Muto's body in much smaller sections that would then be easier to drag out to sea or float off on their own. Although there would probably be Muto chunks everywhere within a mile radius. Good eating. The head of the female would certainly have been enough to study to get to know how the giant animals functioned and thought, so they wouldn't necessarily need anything else to study. But who knows who else would try to get their hands on these kaiju remains. Residents, hopefully we'll get a little recap on what happened to the Muto bodies in Godzilla King of the Monsters. But until then, this is the best guess we have as to how we would have dealt with these dead monsters. What would you do if you had to clean up a dead kaiju? Tell us your story in the comments. If you want more videos like this, make sure to become a resident and share this video with a friend. And if you feel like we've deserved it, head on over to our Patreon page and see if you want any of our special rewards for donating to the channel on there. On that note, residents, I will see you next time, and peace out.